Hi everybody, Fran here, and I'm going to be going over week 11 remote learning for A-level history. This week we are starting coursework in A-level history, and this is a unit we will study for the final 3 weeks of the summer term and then the first half term when we return in September. Something that's quite important to be aware of before we start is that beyond the remote learning, you are going to receive an email formally inviting you into college for a coursework support session. You will be invited in for 1 2.5 hour session, and it will be at some point in the next 3 weeks. Please keep an eye out for that, and please email your teacher with whether you can attend or not. If somebody in your class has the invitation and you don't, please don't worry. Because of social distancing, we can only have 5 students in at a time, and therefore we are staggering who we have in across the 3 weeks. So again, if you don't have an email but somebody else does, please don't worry. That should be the case. It shouldn't be the case that you all get an email on the same day. If you have any questions about the coursework support session and coming into college, please contact your teacher via email. In terms of remote learning for week 11, we are starting with a very, very basic introduction to coursework. Alan has put together a video that narrates just the essential information you need to know about this coursework. What percentage of the final grade is coursework? How many marks is it? How many words long is it? Just all the sort of vital questions that you need answering at this point. So the task is to answer the questions provided using the video link. If you've got any questions at the end of the video that you don't feel the video has answered, write them down and bring them into the coursework support session in college, because then you will be given an opportunity to discuss any further questions you have. So write down any questions that you have at the end of this task, please. The second task this week is helping you get organised when it comes to coursework. So if you've not already in your OneDrive, please create an A-level history folder. Within the A-level history folder, you're going to create a coursework folder, and then within the coursework folder, you are going to create the following 8 folders: classwork, personal research, AO1 draft, AO2 draft, AO3 draft, full draft, bibliography and appendix. At this point, some of those words may look quite alien. You may not know what they mean. Bibliography, appendix. So long as you've done task 1 before doing this, all of those terms should make sense. Once you've created all of those folders, please share the A-level history folder with your teacher, and from there your teacher can check that all of the subsequent folders are in place and ready to go. Lesson 2 of week 11 is looking at German history between 1815 and 1945, which is the time period we look at for A-level history coursework. Alan has created a video that goes through the key chronology of this period. And so what we're going to ask you to do is to create a timeline on the basis of the information in the video that Alan has created. On the worksheet and on the screen are a couple of hints for when you are making that timeline. Alan will start by going over the different types of government that Germany has in this period, and you need to mark them on first, and you need to make sure they are very prominent on your timeline, whether they be highlighted or written in a different colour ink. Please make sure that the different governments and the changes in the government that Germany has is quite clear. After that, Alan will then start the story from the beginning, if you like, and go through key events starting in 1815 and going all the way through to 1945. So just be aware of that, because if you are not aware of that, you may feel that the video jumps back and forward. It doesn't. Just starts with the types of government and then starts with the key events in 1815. Then the final lesson of the week is looking at the concept of anti-Semitism. Alan's created a YouTube video that looks at the concept of anti-Semitism and how it's developed over time. And so what we're asking you to do is to create a flow diagram. A flow diagram should give you more space to record the information in adequate detail. These different bullet points are not topics where you can write a sentence to kind of summarise what's going on. You'll notice straight away in the video that Alan talks quite a lot in detail about these different bullet points, and therefore you're going to need the space to make good notes on each. So that's why we're asking for a flow diagram for this activity. What you'll notice by the end of all of this is that there aren't many tasks this week, no more than 2 tasks per lesson. Lesson 2 and lesson 3 only have 1 task, and that's because we really want you to sit down this week and get your head around the basics of this coursework. We don't want to throw too much information at you at once, but this week should take the same amount of time as any other week. It's just that more time is going to be spent thinking and getting clear in your mind the narrative in terms of German history, 1815 through until 1945, and just to get your head around the concept of anti-Semitism and just the fact that it's not something you can only measure against sort of one criteria. You can see anti-Semitism in very different ways in society. As always, email your class teacher with any questions as you are doing the work. The deadline will be the Friday, but apart from that, have a lovely week, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in one of the free coursework support sessions.
Right, huge thank you to Fran for putting that together for you all. Hope you know what you're doing. Really interesting topic for this. Hopefully we're going to get a lot of you into college, and you can pick up a copy of my book, also available on Amazon, I believe, at ridiculously low prices. So I hope you're doing well. This week's work is coursework. Make sure you go through and watch those videos and look at the other stuff in the coursework playlist. Keep on top of your America and your Tudor playlists as well. Right, make sure you leave some nice positive comments for Fran, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't done so already, why have you not done so already? Right, thank you very much, guys. I will speak to you all again soon. Enjoy the work, enjoy the coursework, enjoy doing some research. And a huge thank you to Fran for putting all that together for you for this week. Speak to you all soon.